man. I bet we win it. Go hard or go home, it's survival of the fittest.
Let's get activated. Let's get activated.
Today, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the AFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. It's the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Houston Texans.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Houston Texans and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest. You'll take the week off. Get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one. Because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust.
He's got him in, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there. 67 yards. And the Raiders are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Well, this has been a quick strike offense all season long, finding many different ways to manufacture big plays.
They had a big playoff preview today in the papers, and it was about who would set the tone. Well, they just set the tone right there. Point after try forthcoming. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And the quality of opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round. But he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded at the 33. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was very...
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. They begin with a run by Smith. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They're going to look to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Some breathing room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And he's taken down inside the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Runs over him. Here's 2nd and 10. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Raiders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are... to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past it.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Houston's offense taking over again. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now back to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And the Raiders have got him. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. (21-0) our score after 1. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field, and they were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 28-0. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one one bit. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 18. Oh, look at the juke. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Well, he covered a lot of ground. 82 yards on the punt return. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Now for the point after. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, and I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw again. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fair catch called for Nate at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on Divisional Round Weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful Divisional Round weekend. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Young off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A big play there for the Raiders.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. The big fella. He's at the 50. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Always fun to watch a big boy pick it up and go. He may need a little oxygen on it. He may need a lot of oxygen on the sideline.
Not only that, how about you and me trying to balance ourselves up here because you can feel the shaking all the way up to the booth. That big guy trying to get it to the house.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw here. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So it's on to halftime in this AFC division. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the 2nd half of this AFC divisional round. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Really held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material.
So they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the silver and black continue to roll.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Fire. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, here's Smith again. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there. But most of the time, it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
The Raiders offense ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Off the play fake, Young. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. 39 yards. And the Raiders are pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need them.
And the Raiders have got him. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He'll drop to throw. Got an open man, it's Scott. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll set up a throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Second and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the shotgun, it's Young. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there for the Raiders. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Young. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Raiders are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. And now out comes Houston. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. They'll drop to throw. Quickly to Hawkinson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this one complete to Smith. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Second and 1. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hawkinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He'll look to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And He's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Houston set to take over. They knew this would be tough on the road, divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this fourth quarter. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back to throw again. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. Now they got to get to the line quickly. 2nd and 6. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.